Good morning.
You don't have to say anything. It's all right.
Scorcher. Scorcher out there, Coach. It's a scorcher.
I thought it was a good day. First day in uppers. Being able to get shoulder pads on. Guys definitely had a good intensity. Just really teaching some of the new guys in the second practice. Kind of the expectation of how we practice, and really hoping that understanding of tempo. Being able to get good physical work, working on technique fundamentals, but you also make sure we're staying off the ground and making sure that we're all working together in what we're trying to accomplish. But I thought it was a good day. I thought great intensity. Both practices, I thought guys came to work. Really looking forward to as we continue to progress through this camp. How it's going to continue to tie together. But seeing some great flashes, some playmaking ability that has definitely shown up on both sides of the ball. We've got a lot of special teams work. Yesterday was a big special teams emphasis. I didn't talk to you guys yesterday much about football, but yesterday we got a lot of special teams work, and I thought that was big, for our team, and just building on that foundation. So, good day. Excited about some of the performances I've seen, but got to continue to get better.
Through 3 days, how have the quarterbacks performed as a whole?
Really good. I mean, I've been pleased. We're working in split practices, so a lot of different dynamics that come with that. I think the two young guys, Chuba and Tate, are throwing the ball extremely well. I mean, you can see the confidence in what they've had in a year, and I'm really excited about what I'm seeing from them. Mackenzie and Jordan, both, their confidence and understanding of what we're asking them to do is really high, and I think just that continued consistency of those reps, getting with guys, I'm excited about the group.
How excited are you to get everybody together when you come back?
It's going to be good. This has really allowed us an opportunity after 3 days to see where guys are at. So no doubt some newcomers are going to help this football team this year, and now it's time to be able to get a little better sense of versus maybe some more competitive matchups with some cases, but all in all, it was good for us to be able to slow down the individual teaching, for guys to fully understand the expectations of what we're asking them to do fundamentally, and to really slow down that teaching process. And now it's an opportunity to compete.
Parchman said he's never had coaches be this detail-oriented before. How's he taking that coaching?
Hey, I've actually been really pleased with him in that. I told him when he came here it was gonna be different, and that's kind of the good and bad of having a head coach that played the position that you play. But on the flip side, I think that he wants it, and Coach Dugan's is doing a great job with him. We're trying to help him on the finer details of his game that are going to allow him to play to the capability that I believe that he has, and he's shown up in 3 days, and we're definitely excited to have him.
One of those newcomers is Jamie Robinson, and he made some plays today. What have you seen out of him so far the first 3 days?
Jamie's been very consistent the last 3 days, and really challenged him. It was great having Jamie here in the spring, and just an opportunity to build that relationship. He's a very versatile player. Was kind of moving him around in a couple different phases, but I really like what he's done. He's making plays on the ball, doing a good job in whenever he gets opportunity to make plays in the run game or out on the perimeter. But I'm excited about how he's looking.
You guys have gotten Miko Dotson back the last, 3 days now. What's he been able to do and kind of bring to the secondary?
No, great. Miko's a young man that is one of those playmakers that we talked about. 2 years ago we led the country in interceptions. He's got ball skills. He's a very competitive young man. For him, he is one of the leaders of our defense. He's somebody that is well respected by the way that he works. What he's invested. Going through a challenging rehab process. I mean, he's kept the right mindset. And he's tried to capitalize on every day that he has. It's been great to see him 3 consecutive days. We didn't know if we were going to limit him some. We want to see how that went when we got going. He's probably good for a day off tomorrow, which all our guys are as we jump back into camp. But I like where he's headed.
You talked about Jarian's going to be out that first bit of camp, but he's been out here every day. I know you had the clipboard the first day. How impressed have you been of him
kind of embracing doing what he can while not being able to be out there?
Well, he's got a job and a responsibility, you know, as you sit there and to encourage teammates. You know, he can't do anything really else, but you know, to be able to encourage, and you know, his whole deal is getting rehab and all the things that he can do. So he's doing a nice job with that.
Is Kevin Knowles playing as well as it looks like he's playing? Are you impressed with what he's been doing for you?
Yeah, I was really excited when we signed Kevin, and I'm really excited right now. So it is, he's doing a great job. You know, very versatile. We're playing, you know, playing corner, playing nickel. You'll be able to move around. That's what, you know, having him for the first, you know, semester there last spring and be able to kind of get acclimated to a lot of those things is now we're getting to see the versatility. We only played him at nickel in the spring, and now, you know, for him to jump out at corner and just his competitive nature, run game, passing game, I mean, all of it shows up. And so, you know, as long as he continues to work and, you know, pushes himself fundamentally and just that consistency, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to help us this year, but I'm excited about what his future can be.
And I know it's the second session against not the veteran DBs, but Darian Williamson seems to really
got a good eye.
Yeah,
no, Darian is like, he's one of the guys that I think has taken huge strides. And you know, we knew, you know, when Darian came here, you know, he was coming off a knee injury coming out of high school last year. You know, even as you just watched his movements, he was just kind of getting back in the swing of that. You know, he still got some game experience and was able to get out there and do some good things. But he's somebody he absolutely wants to. I mean, the work that he puts in, you know, out there on the practice field, the work he puts in when he's, you know, when nothing's required. You know, he wants to be a great player, and you know, it's probably one of my stars in the first 3 days that has just really emerged in what he's done. You know, we've had a lot of guys like that. You know, Carter Boatwright, you know, I haven't talked a whole lot about him since he's been here, I don't think. But, you know, he's this offseason, you know, coming into the summer, he's put on about 15, 20 pounds. You know, his body looks totally different. You can see the confidence that he has. He had probably one of his best practices today. He made some plays down the field. You know, Marquiston Douglas, who was out last year, you know, for you know, injury-related issue, but you know, being able to get him back, and he was limited to spring, but now really seeing him cut loose. I mean, excited what I've seen from him, and you know, we have a lot of guys that are coming on. So, but Darian is definitely one that showed out.
29 days to get 25 practices in. You use these first 3 days to split squad. What was the goal for these first 3 days, and what's the expectation and the goal you want to set for next week when you guys put that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really repetition. You know, it's hard. You're coming in with the restrictions that we have. You know, just time. You know, with each individual athlete, and so, you know, we want to really get down to a specialized approach. You know, it's hard on the coaches. I mean, it's, you know, we're basically pulling double days when it comes to that, but it's great for the players, and you know, so it's for them to kind of, you know, transition in or transition back. I mean, even guys that have been multi-year, you know, starters or players here, I mean, they get a chance to show how they've improved since last spring. And you know, I know yesterday I mentioned Bavion, and you know, I remember last year, which he probably ain't gonna like that I say this, but he came in and he was probably about 15 pounds overweight. And we had to work through that process to get down to where he needed to be. And, you know, as the season went on, you know, you just saw a change in his mentality, his approach. I mean, he's here and you know, whatever it is, you know, right around 310 pounds, maybe a little less. And, I mean, moving well, working hard. I mean, that's good to see that growth. And maximize the summer. They did a good job in the summer program. You know, I get excited when I see those strides. You know, but it was good for us to, you know, guys like Patrick Payton, you know, has really showed up here the last few days. I mean, that's one that you know, Marcus, you know, being in this practice, a lot of those, you know, young guys that are going to kind of moving along the defensive line. We saw with Josh Farmer coming in the spring, you know, came in as an end and quickly moved inside, and is now going to be a guy that I think can help us. And you know, we've got some guys that are going to be moving around, you know, throughout our personnel. But this gave us an opportunity to really evaluate and slow down that process for coaches and for the players.
In the spring, you and Kenny talked about the confidence Jordan was getting. Have you seen him take another step into the season?
No question, and you know, and that comes with reps. And you know, even though we haven't been able to be out here with them, they put in the work. And you know, when you have that confidence of what you're being asked to do, what it needs to look like, now we get into the finer details of it, play in, play out versus the looks, and you know, you see those reactions quicker, and that's what we have to do over the next 22 practices leading up to September 5th.
Do you hope that the upperclassmen that are in the afternoon session, once you guys go back to a full practice, will kind of have embraced the challenge and they'll, I don't know, kind of rise to the occasion now that they're back with their team? It has to be hard for a junior, I guess, to do the afternoon squad.
No, I don't approach it that way. It's about reps, and to me, I don't care. I mean, there's guys like Jaleel McCrae's been around for a couple of years. He's in there, and I mean he got really good work these last few days. And so there are some older players that were in the afternoon. It's not just total newcomers, and we wanted to get real quality practice reps. And there'll be guys that were in this practice that'll be running the ones and the twos come Wednesday. So I really didn't approach it that way, and we explained that to our team. I talked to them the very first night of why we do things, and and they understand that. Everybody wants to be able to show where they are and how they've developed and what we can expect.
Now that you've had a few days with this new look defensive line, several new guys, and how do you feel about the first few days with them?
Good. Kier, first day, really flashed. He's coming off an injury, and so we wanted to really kind of, advance him back, slowly. So we went pretty hard on the first day. Pulled back a little yesterday, and then today he was out out getting after it, and it didn't take him long to flash and to make some positive plays. So it was good to see Jermaine. A full spring in off season. You could see the confidence that he has. Excited about that. Fabian Lovett and Coop. I mean, those guys are really pushing themselves, and we got to be consistent. We got to continue to work in that regards. But I like what I'm seeing, especially with some of the newcomers. I'll mention Marcus and Patrick. I think put themselves in a really good position as we continue to advance. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All good.